Mystery Ranch is well known for making ultra rugged and ultra comfortable backpacks aimed at hunters, the military, and wildland firefighters. And while they've been making some of my favorite backpacks, they've typically been snubbed by the ultralight and thru hiking community. However, the all-new Radix pack aims to change that. Last summer, I got my hands on advanced copies of the 57 and 47 liter models, and I've put in a few hundred miles in them, and here's what I've concluded. Mystery Ranch has a lot of packs that are well over 5 pounds that can handle carrying loads of 50, 60, 70 pounds, which is awesome if you are a hunter or a backpacking photographer like myself who's often carrying really heavy loads. The exciting thing about this backpack is that this pack is really Mystery Ranch's go at meeting the ultralight community in the middle. The Radix 57 pack weighs 3.8 pounds and retails for $299. I think that this pack fits nicely in the hybrid category. It's not quite ultralight, but it's not quite a traditional backpack either. If you're like me and you have a lot of love for more traditional pack makers, backpacks that can handle heavy loads but are also really nicely thought out with design and ways to store things, ways to access things. If that's you, then I think you're really gonna like this backpack. It is a fully harnessed backpack. The frame is really gonna be the big difference between this pack and anything that's closer to an ultralight backpack. I got some sawdust here. This is a fully adjustable torso here. You can use Mystery Ranch's really intriguing system for actually changing the torso length and making it fit exactly to your body. That to me is one of the biggest advantages over the ultralight style of packs. This pack manages to keep a lot of what Mystery Ranch is known for, and that is a really nice yoke system. It has a fully articulating hip belt, really nice weight distribution from your hips, across your back, across your shoulders, and across your sternum. The 57 liters is really referring to its internal volume, and it doesn't apparently count the external pockets that I actually really enjoy on this pack. So you have two very large water bottle pockets that are angled up, and that is actually really nice because at the lowest point you can get water bottles in and out, as well as having taller things such as trekking poles, tripods, anything that you might want, or taller water bottles that are going to be off to the side here. You have a main dump pocket, the back here, that actually comes all the way down and is quite generous in what it can fit in here. You have multiple places to constrict and tighten in your load, which is really going to help bring that load in closer to your back. But here is something that I really enjoy about this backpack. I love this generous, huge access point. Now, all I have inside right now is a giant sleeping bag to give it some form, but this is a very nice way to get in and out, even if you only need to get something like a stove or a snack or whatever you might be trying to get out of the backpack. Now, that actually is quite the selling point for me because a lot of times with these just tubes with straps and hip belts, I get really annoyed about not having an access point, especially if something is closer to the bottom or the middle, because I don't like having to take everything out in order to get at it. So having something like this access point, is honestly a huge selling point for me. Another feature is that you have a detachable lid that simply comes off with a couple clicks. Nice buckles make that super easy and seamless. As well as on the lid, you have nice, generous storage, as well as some extra storage here up in the top. This is helpful for me because I like being able to keep things like my toothbrush and toothpaste up here kind of separate and where it's not going to spill out, or my keys, as well as just having easy access to snacks, headlamps, gloves, something that you might need at a moment's notice and you don't want to go diving. I don't want to go diving into my backpack for it. What is this pack even made out of? I think just by looking at it, you might think that this is a Dyneema fabric. It is not Dyneema. It is something called Bird's Eye PE, technical PE Bird's Eye, which I don't have any clue what that really is, but it's essentially a more technical nylon, if I understand it correctly. Now, Mystery Ranch does claim that this is waterproof, or at least close to waterproof, and it does have some kind of water repellency, kind of like a windbreaker, where if you're in a light rain, yeah, the water's not going to soak through like cotton, but it also, in heavy downpours, which I was definitely in on the Colorado Trail, it got soaked. In case you're under the impression that this is a waterproof or close to waterproof backpack, I really would say that it's not. Let's spend a little bit more time talking about the frame. Now, Mystery Ranch states on their website that they claim this pack can handle 40 plus, even closer to 60-pound loads. And while I think that that's technically true, I really wouldn't recommend carrying loads that heavy in a pack like this. I carried 44 pounds on the Colorado Trail and did find it to be just a little bit on the heavy end. Granted, that is just a heavy backpack, but I've carried that with other Mystery Ranch packs without any issue, and this one I did start to feel some of that similar kind of achy shoulder syndrome that does tend to happen when your backpack is just a little bit too heavy. So some things that I'm really pleased with in general are the comfort and the padding that you get here from your hips and your lumbar and across your back. However, the biggest thing that I would like to see improvement on with this backpack is on these shoulder straps. I absolutely adore the Mystery Ranch Bridger's shoulder straps, and I don't really know if they shaved much weight by going to these. I would much prefer, for probably the few extra grams, that running vest style strap as opposed to this, because I think that that system is massively more comfortable than this. And that is not necessarily a ding on this pack, it's just that I think that that's the most comfortable carrying system that I've ever used. Some other things that I do like that are integrated in are hip belts on both sides that easily carry and fit cell phones and keys and lighters and knives and things like that. By Mr. Ranch's standards, this little hip belt buckle is actually quite a bit less, and I felt like it was actually completely adequate. It was a nice simplification of their previous system. You can kind of see right here, you've got these aluminum frame that comes around and gives this actually quite a nice bit of structure and rigidity. Now, they do say that these are removable if you did want to lighten your load and go extra light, but I don't exactly know if that's really going to be worth it. But if you are really trying to cut weight, there are some ways to do that on this. You could ditch the aluminum frame, you could shed these straps. I don't necessarily recommend that because I think that that's all part of what makes it carry so nice. But if you really wanted to try shaving some weight, you could do it. I think the 47-liter version might be the most interesting, and especially if you are committed to going with low weight, this is probably going to be the best matchup for you. The Radix pack weighs 3.5 pounds and retails for $250, but it has a couple of different design elements. You might notice here on the lid, it has a single contact point for closing rather than the double on the side, which is actually kind of nice. I actually liked having just the one clip there. You still have the main full access zip here, like on both of these backpacks, the 47 and 57. You still have a carrying capability for anything that you want to attach onto the bottom, whether that's a tent or a Z accordion style mattress. When I was winter camping, I found it to be more than enough space to attach on a winter tent. Still got everything that you're gonna want with the fully framed out backpack, nice hip belts, adequate shoulder straps, and the fully adjustable yoke. The other main difference is actually here on the lid, where the other one has a big horseshoe-shaped zipper that gives you kind of the full access point. I actually prefer this single flat zipper. When my backpack is like this or like this, with the other pack, things tend to dump out a little bit easier in a way that's actually kind of annoying. However, with this one straight zipper, things tend to stay in place when you're getting in and out of this compartment. The only downside that I see with this versus the 57 is that you don't have that nice extra storage compartment inside. But that being said, I do like the simplicity of this brain. All of these packs are hydration reservoir compatible and have nice, easy access port here. Whoa, you a Black Widow? I'm not a Black Widow, that's good. I think that spider was in my backpack from my previous trip. Crazy. I think the easiest way to break this down for who this is for is really about how much weight you're actually carrying. If you are a dedicated ultralight backpacker and you are going to be carrying very minimal loads and you're really carrying like 22 pounds or less, then you really don't need this backpack. I would stick with something that's lighter because really you're not going to be too enthusiastic about adding 1 or 2 extra pounds to carry a load that's already so light. However, if you are in a category where you really carry something like maybe 24 pounds, maybe up to 30, 35 pounds, then I actually think that you're going to love this backpack. This is a really nice backpack that handles those loads very well. It still feels like you're backpacking in a more traditional backpack because you have all of the organization, the different pockets, different access points, the removable lid, the fully adjustable yoke, the torso length, the hip belts, but it really is quite a bit lighter than a traditional backpack. I really like having a backpack that allows me to shave some weight while still being super comfort focused. In simplest terms, if you are a dedicated ultralight backpacker, then I don't necessarily think this backpack is right for you, and I'm excited to see how Mr. Inch continues to evolve to get closer to a category that's truly going to entice the ultralight community. However, if you are a thru-hiker who's looking to plug some miles in and maybe is a little bit more accustomed to traditional backpacking, then I think this is actually an awesome setup. And if you're going to be carrying anywhere from 25 to 35 pounds, then anything that the Radex makes, the 47 or the 57, is going to be a great backpack for you. And if you are a traditional backpacker like myself, who's going out for weekend warrioring and doing like 20-mile trips for over 2 or 3 days, well, this is still a kick-ass backpack. It's great, it's lightweight, it's comfortable to carry, it's got nice, thoughtful design, and I think it's kind of got a little bit of something for everybody. My biggest areas for improvement are these shoulder straps. I would just like to see Mr. Ranch do some things to really make sure that those are as comfortable as can be. I would be curious to see if Mr. Ranch can do some things to change the material up, not because there's anything actually wrong with this, but I'm curious to see if they could start incorporating like more waterproofy type material into their backpacks, like a Dyneema fabric. You can't go wrong with either one, but I do like the slightly more simple 47-liter version. It is my favorite. And if you are truly more dedicated towards the ultralight side of things, I think that this is going to be the right pack for you. I genuinely think it's an exciting development for Mr. Ranch. I really think that they are evolving, and it's cool to see them go from the military and hunting side of way of looking at pack making towards a more lightweight backpacking minded individual. And I still think that it is a step in their evolution and it's not perfected yet. I would like to see where it goes and how it continues to evolve and improve. But all things considered, it is a very capable backpack and I love using it. And it's going to be my go-to backpack for this next year and beyond. I'm continuing to try new things as a backpacker, so there's only so many miles I can put on a backpack at all because I'm trying to have so many different experiences and really expand my knowledge base. But I am confident in saying that I think that this is a great backpack that's going to be interesting to a lot of people out there. I think that's plenty of information. If you have any more questions or specifics, please let me know. Hit me up in the comments below, and I'd love to hear what you think about this Radix lineup. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Eric Hansen. I'll see you later, everybody.